The following Toku Podcastu contains spoilers from both past and present tokusatsu, anime, manga, movies and other related media. If you do not wish to be spoiled, we suggest turning off the podcast now. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Tokusatsu Podcast, the best show about Tokusatsu these two idiots won't stop arguing over. I'm AJ, that's Chad.
I am stuck in the middle here, please send help.
Sorry Chad, you're here forever. That's Jay.
You guys remember that time Image Comics stole Howard the Duck?
They did?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's a fun story, but let's save that for later in the episode, because that's going to take a while.
And Phil already did his intro, like usual, so we'll get to the questions right away.
When did I do my intro?
You just did.
Y'all were arguing.
Yeah, see?
We were arguing about Smash Mouth.
Yeah, and Phil here out has a fucking bad taste and says Smash Mouth is bad.
Yeah, later Smash Mouth. Early Smash Mouth was good.
You don't even know later Smash Mouth.
All I know is that it's used for like fuck albums. I don't know.
Like you wouldn't know anything about that.
Anyways. So,
that was an easy one. I'm sorry. I feel bad more for myself.
So why are we here today? Well, it's quite fucking simple. Tir Na Nog is awful shit and you're stupid. So we're doing a mailbag because these are not awful shit and stupid.
Only most of them.
That's pretty much that's the simplest answer I can give you.
And we like talking to you guys.
Let's see. Let's just get right into these fucking questions, shall we? So this one's from Eugene. It's a very simple question. Do you guys answer fan mail?
No.
Never. Wait, what are we doing tonight?
Never do.
I forgot what we're doing tonight.
You know, I was about to make the joke about the pro wrestler, but I guess it literally actually is that Eugene with that genius IQ question.
Next question.
Wow, that's literally the easiest and quickest we've ever answered a question.
I think
I know, right?
Good night,
Hats
everybody.
off to you, Eugene. Hats off to
So,
you, Eugene.
this one is from... He only left this screen name, which, by the way, very creative screen name. Bonjo Dragon. Creative. Yo, long time listened. Love you guys bullshit.
Oh, no.
First time writing fan mail, so not sure what to say, but I had some questions for you who are going to read that. We're going to start from bottom to top. Jay, do you know the word?
Damn it! I walked into that. Okay, continue.
That's the question. Do you know the word?
I might. I know many words.
No, I know the joke.
That's literally the question. Phil, are your pants any higher after seeing the female writer from Geats?
I actually haven't seen.
You really need to ask that question? Of course it's yes.
Which female writers are you talking about?
All of them. And then specifically to me, what are your thoughts on Geats? I've only watched 3 episodes, bro.
Is he asking me that, or is he asking Chad that?
He was asking me that.
Oh, because you didn't let me answer my question. No.
We already know the answer is yes.
You don't know if I'm wearing pants or not.
Why did you answer it that way, then?
Honestly, to honestly answer this question seriously...
Why are you going to answer the question seriously?
Because that's me.
Phil, you know what show you're on,
but you don't
right?
have to.
Yes, I do know what show I'm on. Okay, so I haven't caught up with Geats in a while, but I've watched. But Nago's fine. She's fine. There's nothing really special about her. She's fine.
Damn, he's out here fucking slut shaming. Anyways, next question.
Wow, nothing for Chad. What a dick. I'm sorry.
I know, right? That was the weirdest part. Like, he didn't send one for Chad. I was like, wait, but what about Chad? He's here.
That's because I'm the normalest person of this group.
You are?
You are? Wrong.
Yes, overflowing with hate, and also the one that's most normal.
Well, having hatred in your heart is normal, so...
No, you can't have hatred in your heart. Then you turn to a heartless.
That's not how heartless works!
He's right.
Well, yeah,
that is not how it works.
Either way, I don't have a heart, so I might as well be a nobody.
No, that means that you became a heartless and you were a noble person, and then the nobody was the shell that was left over.
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing this on purpose just to screw with you, man.
You're getting it wrong anyways,
Still
Phil.
getting it wrong, yeah. Actually, it's funny because Chad was technically right. That is actually how nobody works.
Phil, did you actually play these games?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you? It just sounds like you read the wiki one time.
I
Anyways,
played the goddamn games. I've owned them and played them.
Cap. Full cap.
You're a cap.
Anyways,
Keyed.
this one is for everybody. We knew this one was coming up. Thoughts on the first episode of KingOhger?
Haven't watched it.
I
watched
hated it.
I did too.
I am indifferent.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I watched it raw, and then I tried watching it subtitled, and then I forgot that I had it on, and I gave up
Sounds
because
about
I
right
was
for
just
you.
super fucking bored. Like, look, I can't lie with you guys. This isn't even a thing of like, oh, what you can't top what came before it, because I don't do that. I don't like doing that. I've never done that. But even taking it on its own, yeah, I know it's the first fucking episode, you fucking Twitter mongoloids. I get that. But, like, even then, it's still fucking boring. And it looks gross. And nothing about it caught my eye. It's literally, there's nothing about the show that really makes me give a shit.
It's a very lazy first episode because all of the important exposition is dumped in the first minute very haphazardly. The characters are very poorly set up beyond Red, who, I'll at least give you this, they at least establish what his motivation is in the first episode, and I'm not going to say I'm a big fan of him, but I understand the idea that they're going with him. And I kind of like the idea that he's pretending to be a bombastic moron because he's playing a role. Like, that's not going to, they're going to fucking forget about that, and they're probably going to do some shit about, like, they're probably going to do the usual twist of,
My mom is dead!
Well, they're obviously going to do that. They're probably going to do some secret royalty bullshit, obviously, because that's just how these shows go. It's so ugly. Like, all the fucking CG and everything, the cinematography is terrible. The fights are impossible to follow because there's so much shit being thrown on the screen. And all of the shots are so boring and flat because they're doing the stupid LED soundstage and green screening and all the fucking CG. The show looks like it's fucking Final Fantasy 12 with the complete schizotech tier of fucking medieval fantasy and super advanced technology. It looks bad. It just does not look
You
good
know what it
at
reminds
all.
me of, Jay? Do you remember when, and I know this is going to sound funny because really the show's starting to share a lot with this show. Do you remember in Saber whenever they went into the fucking mystical fuck bullshit world?
Yes,
That's
it looks
exactly what this looks like.
It looks exactly the same as the first episode of Saber with the mystical CG bullshit world.
It looks literally like that, and it's weird and gross, and I hate it.
Like the only thing I'll give it is that like I do like the mech design. The mooks look interesting, even though you can barely see them in the first episode at all because of all the shit going on screen and the fact that they never focus on any of them. And I don't like the Ranger suits themselves, but I like the aesthetic they're going for. Like, I'll give you that much. Like, I like the suits bare minimum is the only thing I can say about it. But it's just, it's such a poorly shot first episode, just such a boring script, and it's just so distracting with all the fucking CG and a billion fucking things on screen at once. It absolutely put me off this show. And,
No, but Jay, you forgot the absolute intellectual on Twitter who said that every first episode of Sentai is supposed to be bad.
No.
supposed to be shit.
You always see that fucking cope every time the first episode sucks or the show sucks. I got tagged with that image 3 fucking times the other night when I said the episode sucked. 3 times from 3 different people. Dude, people were so fucking mad when I said the episode was awful. People are still fucking mad at me for saying that I hated the first episode.
Look, you know what? I said this earlier with Jay, and I want to say it this time. I hate to even be that guy, but KingOhger, the love that KingOhger is getting, the absolute fucking dick sucking that this show is getting already, shows me that Dawn Brothers was wasted on some of you motherfuckers. Like, completely. Because we went right back to the same typical fucking Sentai bullshit that we've had for the last 50 fucking years, and you sucked it all back up like nobody's business. Don Brothers was fucking wasted on you assholes. You didn't deserve Don Brothers if this is the type of shit that I'm going to get.
I don't even want to like prop up Don Brothers because of it.
No, I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to either. But the thing is, like, even in a fucking bubble, this is like one of the worst fucking things I've ever had to like force my, like, not even writing wise, just aesthetic wise. It's ugly as fuck and it hurt my eyes.
If they're just gonna go full CG, why not just make this into a fucking anime then? Instead, go animated instead of doing live action.
Because I think Shirakura or somebody high up at Toei would probably kill somebody if they tried.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm honestly worried that this is gonna turn into Saber again, which frightens me.
With Omori behind the production, yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised.
No way, he is?
He's the producer, yeah.
All right, well,
That's why he's
fuck
not
it.
I
give
right
up.
now.
You know what? I give up. Fuck it. KingOhger's gonna be shit. Who cares? I'm done. I don't care anymore.
Even based on the first episode and the way they establish like the 5 kingdoms and the 5 characters, like it reeks of Omori's usual bullshit of like, oh, these are different ways kids can be, and like things that they can like his weird childish moral shit that he did with
Who's
0-1.
the asshole writing this?
And did he do it? He did that a little bit in Drive, and then he did that in 0-1 too. Like he does that in every in X-Aid. Yeah, X-Aid. He does it in every fucking show he's produced. And
well, that's what I'm saying. Who wrote this? Who's writing this?
I believe it's okay. Wait, the person directing, I believe, is Kami Horiuchi, who did some of. Let me take a look.
I think he
can't
was
remember.
the writer of Kyuranger. Or... I don't remember.
Let me take a look here. I have the staff up. So the person, I guess, let me see, doing the screenplay is Minato Takano. I believe they're more or less kind of new to Tokusatsu in general.
Okay.
Let's see, the person actually directing is actually Kazuya Kami Horiuchi. Mm-hmm. I believe they were involved in, let's see, Ryu Soldier. Let's see. They've done a few episodes of Geats, Revice, Saber, 01, Geo, Build, and Exit. The director, I don't think he's super bad, but he's also just not noteworthy. Like super, I guess.
He doesn't have anything that makes him stand out.
Yeah, basically. And then okay, Minato Takano. So this is his first time writing a tokusatsu. Apparently he's a Japanese scriptwriter who is best known for working directly under Yuya Takahashi. So
that it does not bode well for how the show goes.
You guys are gonna have to give me some context about Yuya Takahashi.
He did 01 X-Aid and
Are you new here?
I believe he's also doing Geats.
Are you new
he
here,
is doing
Phil?
Geats, yes.
Okay.
Am I new?
Okay, also I think Minato Takano, let me see. I think he also did the live action screenplay for Kakegurui, I think.
Yes, that's where I knew him from. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking into some of his other things. Yeah, it was Kakegurui, the movie, and the second one. And then also a few other live action dramas, but aside from that, that's more or less it.
Oh, you know what? You know what this sounds like, Jay? This sounds like this is gonna be that one of those shows where Omori just takes over completely. The writer is just that. Oh my god, this is gonna be what's that asshole's name? Who was the editor for One More Day?
Joe Quesada.
Yeah, this is gonna be like Joe Quesada. He's just letting the writer pretend that he's writing the comic, but he's really the one doing it.
I mean, if we're going for the full One More Day analogy, that means whatever Takano is writing is going to be much, much worse than whatever the fuck Omori is planning. I still have a blood hunt on your ass, Straczynski. Don't fucking think you're safe.
But he wrote Real Ghostbusters.
So fucking what if he wrote Real Ghostbusters? The motherfucker wrote One More Day, and he deserves to die for it.
But Jay, he wrote all the good episodes of the Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he also did the fucking Battlestar Galactica reboot. That doesn't mean anything.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on.
In terms of, I guess in terms of my thoughts with KingOhger, I'm going to be charitable and give it 2 weeks, or like 2-3 weeks. give it 2-3 episodes. Personally, I was underwhelmed, frankly. It just kind of feels like they're really just kind of overcompensating for the CG backgrounds. I kind of need to see, I guess, like, character dynamics and see how the writing goes. In terms of, I guess, characterization with Red, or basically everyone has a friggin' complicated name. Friggin'...
Gira,
what is this?
I think his name was.
Gira, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess, kind of like Jay, I see what they're doing. In concept, it's interesting. It's basically saying, screw your government, I'm gonna do you one better. And then just basically flip the bird.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. But yeah, like, that's, in concept, that's interesting, but also at the same time, depending on how you really execute that, then mileage may vary.
I am definitely gonna give it the old 5-episode thing. I'm gonna do that much to be the nicest guy possible, but I can already tell you right now I'm gonna hate this show. It's gonna either be the most boring thing imaginable or it's gonna be Saber 2. There's no in between. This is not gonna be a great show. I can tell you just right out the fucking bat.
Yeah, I'm pretty much
nasty.
in the same boat. I'm gonna keep watching until I just can't stomach watching it anymore.
I'll give it a try.
So next week.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like, if anything, I'm also probably going to give it the old Olympic try of giving it a watch. But aside from that, though, like, I'm still very much underwhelmed. I'm not really impressed. And, I mean, it is what it is, frankly, so...
I'm already...
I mean, it felt... Or no, the best compliment I can give it is this. It felt like typical Sentai, and that's not a really high compliment.
But we've had typical Sentai that can be good. We've had, like, Shinkenju, we've had Gokaiger, we've had...
No, but Phil,
Let's put it this way. It
according
feels
to
like
the absolute...
Sentai, with the exception of Don Bros, it feels like Sentai within the past 4 to 5 years.
No, Phil, according to the absolute genius on my Twitter timeline, there's never been such a thing as a good Sentai first episode.
Okay,
that's gonna be the funniest fucking thing. Don't worry about it, Phil. Don't get into this. We're going to the next question because I don't even want to give that guy the time of day
or
anymore.
else my head's gonna explode, and I'm already not a fan of the KingOhger mecha design.
You know what, Jay?
I like not Unicron. I'll give it that much. I do.
Oh, that's mean.
Okay.
I mean, look. Have you seen the mech? It literally just looks like a red painted Unicron.
What I hate about it is...
Look. I'll say this much. I'm gonna have a really fun time every single Saturday night. Oh, no, it's Sunday night. Every single Sunday night, being able to post that Sam MJF gif where it just says mid, and just all the KingOhger fans get after me. Every single week, I'm gonna do it because it's gonna be too fucking easy. The engagement's too fucking easy, bud.
Look, what I hate about that design is that, like, red is fine, but the others are just underwhelming.
Next question from who should I go first? Because there's tons of them here, actually. Ooh, you know what? Let's go with a spicy one. Let's go with a spicy one, shall we? This one is from Lisa. Hi, Lisa. What are your thoughts on some of... Oh, God. What are your thoughts on some of the crew from Bat in the Sun using JDF's name to essentially slander Power Rangers and accuse them of stealing ideas from JDF over the past 10 years? Woo, baby. This is spicy.
As much as I don't like JDF, I don't like to speak ill of the dead unless they're like literal criminals. But considering how strong of a hand JDF had with Power Rangers over the last 10 years, I wouldn't say they were stealing ideas from him. It's more like they were doing what he told them to do.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know anything else about the crew of that or what they've said, but if their claim is that Power Rangers is stealing his ideas, motherfucker, he gave them the ideas. He made them make those choices.
To give a bit more context from what I've seen, maybe Chad can put a bit more context after I'm done as well. Some of the people from Bat in the Sun have apparently been saying that JDF fucking hated Power Rangers for the last few years before he died. Like, he absolutely despised Power Rangers, which... Not true, by the way. He despised Power Rangers. They stole all of his ideas. They basically were just like slave driving him into the ground or some shit. Like they're just saying some like whack ass shit, And from what I know, just to be extra petty, they're apparently going to release the what's it called, Legend of the White Dragon, on the same day of Once and Always. So I'm like, bro, you guys are just being the pettiest of petty, and it's really weird. Say what?
So that actually got finished?
Allegedly, it's done.
Apparently, it did.
Jesus. Last I remember hearing the Kickstarter fucking bombed. So
apparently it actually went all the way through.
Weird.
But yeah, so apparently, again, I don't know the full context. Again, maybe Chad can shed some light, but that's what I know. That apparently they're just going out of their way to make it seem like Jason David Frank fucking hated Power Rangers like the last few years of his life.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. In terms of the actual drama with Bat in the Sun, I personally do not know much. If anything, this sounds also pretty new. But in terms of JDF's relationship to Power Rangers, basically before he died, yeah, no, apparently there was actually legitimacy, because like I've heard rumors and like kind of rumblings of him actually kind of hating the direction Hasbro went with the brand. And basically, from what I could tell, again, wasn't really too big of a JDF fan, but also at the same time, I can't deny the effect he's had on the fandom, especially with what he's made it and whatnot. But in terms of that though, apparently he was really getting fed up with the fan, or like with basically what Hasbro's direction, and it kind of shows now, especially like with how they're, I guess, treating other brands, D&D, Power Rangers, etc. And I guess like the fact that he's actually apparently that's been rumored that he's been more or less, I guess, dissatisfied with the treatment of the franchise, that would make sense. But in terms of, I guess, him hating Power Rangers as a whole, don't think that's exactly true. Apparently it's because of like how Hasbro treated it is why he chose not to come back for Once and Always, apparently, and why he hasn't been seen on Power Rangers since, what was it, Ninja Steel, I think?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Fuck,
Don't remind me of that shit.
Yeah, so pretty much, like, Ninja Steel, I think, was the last, Neo Saban entry, and he hasn't been seen in, like, Beast Morphers or Dino Fury, and obviously he's not being seen in Cosmic Fury because, rest in peace, sir. But, I feel, or if I remember correctly, so to give a long story short, he didn't exactly hate Power Rangers, but he hated the direction Hasbro was taking with it, despite the fact that apparently there are still rumors, or I guess rumblings in the fandom that I'm still kind of keeping up with, that he did actually collaborate with them on a few last projects before he passed away. But that's mainly only for merchandising, not really for production or show-wise, though.
Again, I'm not too sure on my end. That's just what I've heard, though. So
I have heard a lot of what Chad said there, with him being very dissatisfied with how Hasbro has handled the brand, but JDF is he's always been a little bit of a prima donna in his later years, so I had chalked that up to just personal dissatisfaction about how he's been treated, and not necessarily a view of the brand overall.
He's been booked.
What?
Considering where Hasbro's gone the last 5 years as well, and, you know, like Chad brought up, how they've completely fucking demolished basically every single major brand they've had over the last year. The D&D fiascos, and I say that plural, have been really entertaining to watch as a tabletop fan.
What's going on with D&D?
Oh,
don't worry about it.
Extreme short version, Phil, is they introduced a new version of their open licensing for the D&D system, which originally allowed people to basically make their own D&D supplements with, you know, the mechanics and everything, and pay a small royalty. They basically rewrote the entire thing that basically said, anything you make, we own, and we make all of the money. You get fucking nothing from it. And also they tried to retroactively rewrite it to make everything that came out beforehand also all their property.
Those money-grubbing bastards.
Yep. Ironically, and this is they're going to be where I end the piece, their attempts to revise it after the shitstorm inadvertently, accidentally made several of the most iconic D&D elements public domain, which includes, but not limited to, mind flayers, beholders, several major spells that were originally copyrighted, and for some fucking reason, Count Strahd is now public domain. But I digress.
You could take it however way. I kind of just think it's because JDF didn't like how he was being booked, brother. That's not going to work for me, brother.
I mean, for God's sakes, he was getting top billing for everything.
That finish don't work for me, Rita, brother.
So, okay, I don't...
That CG don't work for me, brother.
I don't disagree with him when it came to how Hasbro's treating the license, because it feels like they don't really care. It's like they're nostalgia pandering, and they're also linking everything to the Boom comics. Oh, look, I haven't read the Boom comics in years. I still have them. I have to read them one day. I'll read them one day. But it's like, if I got to read a fucking comic book to know what's going on and stuff, then, okay, that I'll do it. But I don't want to. Not to mention...
Well, then don't.
I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't be a requirement to do that. Like, it shouldn't be a requirement to do that. Because they're also doing that with Cosmic Fury, I heard. Like, they're bringing Heckle back from Dino Charge, but he's going to be the Dark Ranger.
We got a few questions about Cosmic Fury. Don't worry about that.
I'm going to be tearing that one a new one. I'm going to be tearing that a new one.
Like I said, at least when it comes to JDF, we don't know. And like Jay said, I ain't going to speak ill of the dead because we don't know the full story with that shit. So, if they're really going out of their way to slander it, then that movie better be a fucking 10 out of 10. Well, so
watch as somebody makes us put it on the wheel.
It already is.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
What happens if we land on it before it comes out?
Then we gotta do it.
We eventually do it when it comes out. We go opening night in our finest suits.
To be fair, that not even to gas him up or anything, but that's going to be like one of those like big things that like we're gonna have to do it.
Yeah,
we have to.
Yeah.
Next one. Let's see. God, there's so many of them. You know what? Let's just jump right into another Power Rangers one. Why not? So this is from Joseph, not Joseph. Joseph. Do you guys have any hopes / expectations for Once and Always? Nope.
No.
Not a single
particularly.
One.
Based on what little I've looked up, I think it's going to shit all over the ending of In Space, as they've done like 8 billion times already.
That seems to be just seems to be an anniversary tradition at this point.
That just seems to be the new tradition, is to just completely shit all over the ending of In Space. I think and I hope they might change this considering recent circumstances that we just discussed. But based on certain information I've seen, based on the casting and everything, what the fuck is that?
Somebody's racing.
Did you guys hear that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Based on certain information I found out with the cast, and especially now, I have a feeling I know how it's going to end, and I have a feeling that something is going to happen involving the cast, but I won't say that because I'm going to seem like a fucking tinfoil hat wearing nut job more than I usually do.
To be fair, I think you're okay with saying what you're going to say.
Okay.
At least for now.
Well, okay, so before JDF died, I figured they're going to do this. I don't know if they're going to change their mind now, but considering that he already was not coming back, and they obviously had an empty spot for the Green Ranger, and that they announced that one of the main characters of the special is going to be the original Yellow, Trini's previously unmentioned daughter, I had the schizo theory that they're going to make her the new Green Ranger and completely cut out Jason David Frank from the series entirely. Which, considering how he had been, as we just discussed, his feelings with Hasbro up to that point, would lend credence to that theory, especially if they went through with that. Now that he's dead, I don't think I fucking hope they don't go through with that, but that was kind of my initial theory there when I found out that little bit of info. But I don't know. They haven't said basically anything else about... Oh god.
So remember how I said earlier that they've also been basing a lot of stuff around the comics continuity?
Yeah.
So in the Power of the Dragon comic, which is about Tommy later on in life, it shows that his son, he's on a mission where he's basically using like all of his powers at one point. His son basically becomes SPD Green, but if they establish that if they've already established that he's there, he may become the Green Ranger, but I don't know. Like
I said, my thing, honestly, I kind of said it when it got announced. This is going to sound really cynical of me. It's about 15 years too fucking late to do something like this.
Yeah.
It is 15 years too late to do this because I get it. Look, I get it, right? We all love MMPR, right? We all love, go Power Ranger. Oh my God. We all love that shit. It's classic, whatever. But at this point, let's be fair, everybody's come back at least once at this point. And I mean, everybody has come back.
Except for Kimberly.
Well,
no, wait, Turbo.
Who cares?
Turbo movie.
Well, who cares? She only comes back when she wants something. But like, when the thing is, everybody's come back multiple times. It's not special. This is not gonna be special. You know what this is, Jay? This is like every single time Ric Flair said he was gonna fucking retire, and then he keeps coming back. It's like, yeah, I get it. You retired. Great. Good for you, old man. Oh, you're gonna come back for another match? Okay, fine. Like the Power Rangers retiring is like a wrestling retirement at this point. They're never gonna stay retired.
Let's
they
put
never
it this
stay
way.
away.
No, it's
honestly, actually, you know
is-
what? You go ahead, Chad. Yeah.
It is the equivalent of Hayao Miyazaki retiring. Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're Toku retirements are wrestling retirements. They never stay away ever. They just can't do it.
Token retirements are only permanent if you're either crippled for life, dead, or a criminal.
Or you're running for the Yakuza.
And even then,
And even then, that last one isn't, depending on circumstances,
right?
is not
But that's what I'm
straight.
saying. Like the thing is, once and always, to stay on specifically once and always, it's if this was 15 years ago, where most of them we never knew if they were really going to come back. This would be a momentous thing. Wow, a completely original mini movie with the original cast, and at that time, you could have probably had Austin St. John and Jason David Frank. They would have tried to kill each other on the set, but who fucking cares? You could,
Well, that's normal.
you can wave a check in front of them. It'll be a blank check, but it'll be a check. But you can wave a check in front of them, and they can behave for a bit. But like, if you had done it back then, this would have been like, whoa, holy shit, fuck, we gotta go fucking watch this, bro. It should be fucking amazing. Now it's like, everybody's come back. I don't want to sound mean, but everyone's older. Everyone's not as spry as they used to be. And as Jay said, what's the fucking story, bud? It's just going to shit on space again. Like, at this point, what does in space even matter anymore?
Also, when you do anniversaries and stuff, I mean, for God's sakes, people will go on saying Forever Red was like the how you should do it, and you did it.
Yeah, and well, if we try and do Forever Red again, that's more or less a pipe dream. Never gonna happen again.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things where this may have been cool at one point, but not anymore. It's the time has passed, and I mean, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna watch it out of morbid curiosity. That's just gonna be like
honestly.
me.
Yeah.
You go for it, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, to give my 2 cents on the whole thing, I am, again, much like most of Sentai and Ranger. I don't really care. I am indifferent. I've heard things about this special, and to be quite honest, I don't really care. Just, again, like everyone else is saying, maybe if like, heck, even 5 years earlier, maybe for like, what's the 25th anniversary per se? Like when everyone was, I guess unfortunately I have to say it this way, when everyone was alive and also not in the middle of crimes, because freaking
Everybody was alive and not in prison, yeah.
Yeah, because freaking ASJ's, I don't think he's actually been cleared of any of his criminal charges.
It is,
quote unquote. I have no
last
idea
I
what's going
checked,
on
it is
there.
going to court relatively soon.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, when he wasn't being charged for money laundering or fraud or whatever it was, I don't remember. And if JDF were still here, then yeah, no, I would definitely think that it would be a much more probably heartfelt story. Apparently, the one that's really backing this, surprisingly, is David Yost, who apparently has been wanting to do this story for a while, but just never had the chance. And this is why we have a lot of the season 2 onward characters apparently in it. But as it is now, as it stands, oh hey, Johnny Young Bosch is back. He's cool. That's about it. Nah.
Is Karen Ashley coming back?
I believe so.
Because I met her. She's actually really nice.
Like I said, I said, everybody.
The roster is Rocky season 2 red, Aisha season 2 yellow, both. What the fuck was the original Black Ranger's name again?
Zach Walter Jones.
Zach and Johnny Young Bosch, whose name Adam, that was his name.
Yeah, Adam.
Obviously, David Yost, Billy, and that's it.
Yeah.
They're also getting Barbara Goodson back to play Rita, which I'll give them that much. I'll give them that they got her back. They never bring her back, so I'll give them that points for that.
Something I do. Sorry, Chad.
They apparently did get the original actor for Alpha and also what's her face? Yeah, Barbara Goodson for Rita back. So that's nice.
Richard Horvitz isn't that hard to get these days.
Yeah,
but
for some reason we can't get him back for other specials. So I don't know.
It's because he'd rather be doing anything else.
He was busy with Billy and Mandy and Invader Zim and Psychonauts and Destroy All Humans, and I can't think of anything else that he was in around the time when they were trying to do this.
He'd rather be teaching a Sunday class than do Power Rangers at that time, let's be fair.
He'd rather be in that dog shit web series about imps or whatever the fuck it is. Apparently he's on that dog shit hell of a whatever show.
Yes, he is.
I don't fucking know.
Don't let Twitter hear you say that.
Listen,
don't let Tumblr hear you say that. God forbid.
Aren't we on Tumblr?
They'll come for you, bro.
I am. AJ kind of is, even though he only posts to post episodes. Which
Yeah,
I don't know why
would
you
else?
do and you don't leave to me to do, because I have way more fucking followers than you do on there.
Because you don't.
I always do. I always post them.
Do you?
I will.
Yes.
I will say one thing that
If you don't post them before I do, I always post them.
Well,
the day
I'll post them right before you do.
Well, the
Telepathically, I'll just know.
When
Phil, you were about to say something.
Yeah,
what the fuck were we talking about?
So a couple years ago,
special.
When I was at Comic-Con, Amy Jo Johnson was there, and I was actually at her panel. I was actually able to get into it. Somebody did ask, would she ever consider going back to Power Rangers? And she kind of moaned a bit, being like, "Do I have to get back in the spandex?" But we were telling her like, no, you don't have to. She said, but in all honesty, she said she is interested in coming back, but she would actually like to do something more in a directorial role rather than as an acting role.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, just like a paycheck would be a paycheck in that case. So.
And I've seen her directorial stuff. I've at least seen one of the things. You can see it on YouTube. It's not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
I actually did see something that she directed, Phil.
You did?
Yeah, it was called Next Question. Ran right into that one.
I walked right into that one.
I know, it was perfect.
Yeah, you fucking bastard.
Phil is like a Sideshow Bob in the Rakes, but him it's obvious jokes.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. So I'm a
murderous.
Somebody draw that.
So I'm a murderous asshole who has bad hair and sounds like Fraser Crane.
You're all of those except that you don't sound like Fraser Crane.
Actually,
you kind of
sound dignified.
Hey,
Anyways, next question.
Great voice.
So,
yes, he does.
This one is. So these two are kind of similar in a weird way, but let's go with Mallory. First, Mallory. Is it just me, or has the Reiwa era for Rider been rather uneventful? I say this because while we've had the typical ups and downs, nothing in this era for Rider has seemingly stood out all that much. So much so that Rider for the first time in years was overtaken in discussion and fan interest by Sentai, Don Brothers. Do you think it's the show's fault, or do you think Reiwa has certainly played it safer than most eras so far?
Well, I think I actually have an answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's think of it this way, because Heisei Rider was initially the writers that really broke the molds of Kamen Rider. I mean, Odagiri Joe was initially said, oh yeah, treat this more like a J-drama rather than a typical tokusatsu show. And pretty much, if I remember correctly, things really started to kind of transition back when it was, I want to say, the era of Black. And it began to lean more harder into the drama aspect instead of having a Japanese bugman fighting the Nazis on a motorcycle with a scarf, while wearing a scarf. But I think especially, like, as time has gone on with the Heisei writers, because in between, I believe it was Zets, O, and J, and then going to Kuga, there was that time, that little bit of a break for Kamen Rider before it initially came back. Whereas here, we are literally going from the Heisei era Kamen Rider, which is basically what everyone knows, what everyone's basically gotten to the fandom with, the most easy to find and most accessible for fans to watch, and going straight into Reiwa, where there hasn't been a noticeable break for Kamen Rider going forward. And I think because of that, that really kind of, I'd say, maybe... I can't think. I think it gives it kind of that, I guess, feel for Kamen Rider in which things haven't really changed, per se. Maybe a little bit of the filming's changed due to COVID. But aside from that, though, tonally, as well as also, cinematically, it hasn't really changed, mainly because it's been going for about 23 years now, I mean, since 2000, and we haven't had a break. So, I don't know. What do you guys think, though?
I was on the same wavelength, actually, because let's be fair, right? Everyone, and I do mean everybody, kind of thought, we're going to go into the Reiwa era. This is a new era. We're going to be different. We're going to be, it's going to change it up a little bit. And then 01 happened, and it kind of felt just like another Heisei series. Then Saber happened, and whatever. Revice happened. It was good, but it felt like a Heisei series. And Gates, I haven't watched much of it, but from what I saw, still kind of feels like a Heisei series. Nothing's really changed. And I think a lot of people kind of thought we were going to change a lot more drastically than what we did. Not to the point where it's just like Black to Kuga, you know what I mean? But like a little bit of a shake-up. And when we didn't, I think people started losing interest, and that's why with something like Don Brothers, which was legitimately really, really different, people kind of thought, oh, wow, let's talk about this instead, because Geats is just, well, I mean, like I said, I've from what Jay has told me, it's good, but like nobody was like, oh, wow, Geats, this is the hot shit right now, because it's just a Heisei series. I think that's where people are coming from. I don't agree with it, because I kind of realized right away, yeah, it's just the name has changed, but we're still basically in the Heisei era tonally. So,
yeah, I would agree in the regards that people kind of expected it to be a more drastic shift as opposed to where the Heisei era started. The thing is that it's not that it's been super unremarkable, or the shows have been that uninteresting to talk about. I mean, 01 was good outside of the flaws, and Revice was pretty consistently good throughout, and Saber was Saber. And Geats so far has been pretty amazing, and in all honesty, other than because Don Brothers was fucking Don Brothers, in terms of discussion, it's getting a lot of discussion, and I think for the most part, Geats is actually breaking that kind of mold that a lot of the shows had more or less set up to that point. If only because of the way that it's set up with the cast and the whole battle royale premise and the way things get changed and reset every now and then. So, but again, I think a lot of it is just people did expect a bigger shift, and when things kind of remained the same, people started to fall off. I don't want to say fall off on it, but
jumped off the band.
I'm more or less on the same boat as everybody else here, where the shows themselves are still albeit with their flaws, still good. It's just that people expected more of a big shake-up, and people expected a new fucking Kuga every season, essentially, at this point, with the change of the eras. And I think that's the problem and the mentality this individual is coming from.
It's a pitfall that a lot of people fell in, obviously.
Just put it this way: if we're expecting like actual Kamen Rider Shin, like the series, not the prologue, yeah, we're probably not getting that. Let's be real.
Also, if you had to, would you want Kuga every year? Because it would get boring after a while.
I don't think that's what Jay specifically means. I think he really does mean like we're gonna change the way Rider is.
Get a reinvention of Kamen Rider every single year.
That's what I meant.
It's not fair for anyone to think that way, because okay, let's put it this way: Kuga happened. The Heisei era happened because it fucking needed to. Because if it didn't, Kamen Rider would have stayed dead for the rest of the fucking century and nobody would have cared about it. It would have just been in the fucking dust with constant, like, tries at revival, and then you would get the fucking next and the first, and let's be honest, we don't want to go there. But, like, it had to happen. With Reiwa, did it really need to be changed up? Not particularly. I don't think Reiwa was screaming for a reinvention. Would it have been cool? Sure. But I think the formula still just kind of worked. Like, even outside of Zio, right? Most of the shows that came before Zio worked. You know? I think people were okay with that. So I think it's just not needed to change it. There's no reinvention needed. Until, like, the ratings dip down below fucking Sentai, which, by the way, that'd be a fucking scary thought. I would say right now, temper your expectations. Just enjoy the shows that are good. And apparently Geats has been really good, so just enjoy it. Fuck it.
Like, I think also another thing to keep in mind as well is that we are literally 4 years into the new era. Yeah. I think if we're going to be expecting like an evolution to Kamen Rider anytime soon, it's probably going to happen, I wouldn't say super drastically all at one point, but it's going to happen over time. So, I mean, really, just give it some time.
Yeah,
I agree
basically.
with Chad.
You know what? I'll say it like this. Let's see if they do what they did with Heisei and give us a phase 2 of Reiwa, where we had all the way up to Decade and then phase 2 Heisei happened. Let's see if phase 2 Reiwa is different. And then we can talk. Next one from Taylor. This one is a little bit similar, only it's for Ultraman. Do you think Ultraman needs a shakeup? As we've seen over the last few years, every IP in Tokusatsu has had a real, honest-to-God shakeup now and then, some to a lesser extent than others, but Ultraman has been consistently consistent for the past 60-odd years or so. And it feels like the last few seasons, specifically Decker and Trigger, of the show have all been solidified with this thought. I just think it might be time for a bit of a different take to Ultraman.
You know, it's actually kind of interesting. I think we're going to get that shakeup soon, actually. I think this year. Because, Jay, have you heard anything about Ultraman Blazer, or no?
Absolutely nothing beyond the preview, which told me nothing at all. That's the thing, is that, yeah, they were really drumming up their whole new generation Heisei, where they were doing, like, new Tiga, new Dyna, new Gaia, and then we had Trigger, which sucked, and then we had Decker, which kind of gave up on the whole Neo Dyna thing, like halfway through, from what I hear. I have not watched any of Decker. I've heard it's all right. I've heard it's better than Trigger at the bare minimum. But it feels like they have just kind of fucking given up on the formula, and they might just be doing something completely different. But who really knows? I we've talked about it before when we did Zet, and we did the. Did we? No, we only other did Ginga otherwise, which was.
Did you guys do Jeet at all or no?
Yeah, we did.
That's right, we did do Jeet. I forgot about that. Where the new gen shows have very much been in the same formula in the same way, and they've been doing the same thing with the sort of shared universe where everybody shows up kind of thing, and it's all been a lot of legacy stuff. I think Ultra, out of all of the franchises, definitely needs a shakeup, because I think it has gotten very kind of set in stone with the way it's been doing it. Which is not to say that it's all been mad. Like the Galaxy Fight stuff has all been pretty consistently good. It's just the shows themselves have really kind of gotten complacent, I think is the best way to put it.
I was about to use that same word. They've become complacent with knowing that this is just the way it is, and I think that's a really bad idea. You don't want to rest on your laurels, because eventually then you get something like fucking Trigger, where that's the cure for fucking insomnia. But I
guess
yeah.
to kind of talk a little bit about the new Ultraman, I guess, or I guess Ultraman Blazer. I saw the trailer, or I guess the preview that was after Decker the movie. By the way, Decker I thought was definitely a lot better than Trigger. I thought it was a decent season. I liked it. I didn't say I loved it, but I liked it. But yeah, apparently the trailer for Ultraman Blazer. To be completely honest, it feels very reminiscent of the Ultra M project. Basically, that was for that whole little edgy project that came a little too early for Ultraman, in which that was that whole thing for Ultraman the Next and also Nexus. Until that decided to be a kind of a failed investment. And then that's when they went to Max. But yeah, no, apparently that trailer honestly feels a lot like Nexus. And if I remember correctly, or from the rumblings I've heard, I believe that this season, or like this upcoming season, is actually going to be directed by, I believe, Taguchi, who's, I guess a reoccurring name for Ultra, as well as also known for Ultra's stronger, I guess, incarnations and seasons. But I think it might shake up the formula. I don't know, but I think it can benefit from shaking up the formula, though.
Like, in my opinion, from the Ultramen that I've seen, I can't honestly, dude, I can't really say any of them are going to be like things that I want to go back to watch. You know what I mean? Like, Zet was fine, whatever. I know people really pretend to like that one, but whatever, it's fine. Geed was okay. Trigger, I fucking tried with Trigger. No, thank you. And then Nexus was actually like good for the most part up to the second half. But like, for the most part, none of the Ultras have ever really caught my eye, especially the newer stuff, where I'm just like, eh. Honestly, dude, the most I've ever been excited for Ultraman before and after watching it was fucking Shin Ultraman. But that's because that movie was a fucking cluster and I loved it. But
yeah.
Outside of that, I could do without. Like, Ultraman is one of those shows, and I don't want to say it like this because I know someone's going to take it wrong. If I forgot Ultraman existed, I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't miss it.
I don't necessarily blame you. Yeah, I agree with Chad. I definitely did get vibes of Nexus and the Ultra M project with the way the trailer was set up and the kind of things they were saying and the aesthetic they were going for. Whether it's as schizophrenic as that project and whether it crashes and burns as hard as it does, we'll have to wait and see.
So it's going to end with the janitor shooting the squid.
It might.
It's gonna have Kick Hopper be the new Blazer.
Yeah, him, but nowadays where he's super out of shape.
You know what the worst part is? Right after that, he actually got into really good shape.
Yeah,
that's just
what
sad. Anyways, next question. Fuck Ultraman, it's gay. Anyways, someone's gonna take that out of context.
They always do.
Which one? Because we got so many of these now. Which one? You know what? This one seems a bit easy to talk about. Do you guys collect any of the Lightning Collection figures or replica props? Why or why not? Fuck no.
Haven't seen one that was worth it.
Specifically for Power Rangers, or are we going into other franchises?
Lightning Collection, bro.
No.
Look.
This.
I'll say this. I'm followed and follow a guy who does a lot of Lightning Collection reviews. Every time he gets a new one, he posts a picture of it, and 99.9% of the time, they always come broken.
Okay, I can answer this one because I'm the one who has done a lot of the collecting for that stuff. Not as much anymore because honestly, there's a reason. So when it first started, I did collect. Like, I didn't collect every single figure, but I would, if I said, like, okay, I stopped collecting because of the Psycho Rangers, because they made you buy Psycho Blue separately. Then to get Psycho Red, you had to buy the Lost Galaxy Psycho Red 2-pack, but then they ended up releasing the 5-pack with all the Psychos. So essentially, you'd have doubles if you wanted to get a full team. Then I kept hearing stuff about, like, okay, this and that, like the whole Wild Force Lunar Wolf Ranger having, you had to buy 4 different versions of it just to get the right paint details. It's just to get an accurate figure. I said I'm not doing this anymore, and it gets ridiculous. The pre-orders for those get ridiculous. They have problems with the paint apps. I'll still get one every now and then. I got a King Sphinx a few years ago for like $8 at Target, and that was because it was on clearance. And I said, hey, I mean, it's $8. I'm not paying $32 for it.
Well, yeah. Like, if anything, just coming from, I guess, the figure collector side of it, and kind of having to see, or like knowing a lot of people that actually do actively invest in the Lightning Collection, and just kind of a lot of, like, just expressing their sentiments, or I guess expressing their sentiments for them. Very similar to what Phil said. It's been really kind of weird. Again, there have been double releases of certain things for either little to no reason. Like AJ said, there are a lot of QC issues in terms of just, like, the figures alone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, basically, in terms of, like, paint apps and overall smaller details that were initially promised. A lot of weird changes have been made.
Oh no, dude! When I mean QC issues, I mean I should show you the pictures that.
I definitely know. Like, QC issues, like, this is just the paint app issues are the smallest thing here. In
like,
terms
for
of,
real,
like,
dude. Like, if I paid full price for these fucking figures and they came in broken, I would be angry.
Like,
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, no, like head joints, neck joints, feet, arms. It's been very, very sloppy, and it's actually pissed off a lot of people. So in terms of the Lightning Collection, just for that alone, again, I'm not much of a Power Rangers fan to begin with anyways, but it's a mess, and I do not care for that kind of quality in terms of whether it be small details or either the figure basically coming in broken, or I guess having it be a Gunpla kit. Who am I kidding? I have to assemble it now.
He's right. Like, not to mention, one of the other problems is they just keep releasing Mighty Morphin stuff. They will find ways just to get Mighty Morphin stuff out there, and it's stupid. Like, okay, well, first, so here's how Lightning Collection works. They don't release teams in every wave. You'll get like a few Rangers and a villain, and sometimes you'll get like a putty. Sometimes you get. But here's also another thing. At first they would announce, okay, these were coming out at this time. Like, the first 4 were you could get anywhere. Goldar was exclusive to GameStop. But then they start releasing the Fighting Spirits Tommy version of Green Ranger with a putty. It's like, okay, they didn't tell us about that. They didn't tell us about Psycho Blue. They also don't tell you when things are being released. And they'll also tell... Go on, Chad.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, no, like, if anything, the weird release schedule of things either being announced, shadow announced, or just not announced at all, but somehow appearing in someone's backyard crudely. I say that as a joke, but I mean,
At this point, why not?
Yeah, at this point, why?
Jesus.
Man, I'm like choking for a second. Sorry. Anyways,
Bandai, they got to you.
yeah, Bandai and Hasbro got to me. Sorry, guys. But anyways, no, like, yeah, it's been really messy in terms of certain releases, but in terms of like full team releases or, I guess, certain other releases that are just mostly not MMPR. Well, the only thing I can say is this is because like Hasbro knows that nostalgia sells and people only remember MMPR. I guess like a good majority of it, which is not inaccurate. Because I mean, when people think when people think Power Rangers, when you go up to the common Joe, they'll probably just say, "Oh yeah, Mighty Morphin, I remember that," and then that's why they sell it. That's why nostalgia sells, unfortunately, and that's why you're not going to get other seasons such as, like, I don't know, Jungle Fury or something like that, or
Go on.
I'm trying to think what. Yeah, I don't remember what has or hasn't been released because I just kind of don't care.
So we have 2 for Dawn Brothers, so I'm going to just knock them out right now because Dawn Brothers is a thing now. Let's see. So this one is... These 2 are directly influenced by the review that we did. So here we go. So this one's from Weston. I've heard a lot about how Dawn Brothers was being planned for the final Sentai season, and listening to your review, it made me wonder, did Dawn Brothers actually save Sentai, or did it simply delay the inevitable by a season?
It's a good question.
It depends on how KingOhger goes, I guess, the answer to that question.
Awful.
Honestly, I gotta take Jay's side on this one, because if KingOhger pulls a profit in, then it will, yes, have definitely saved Sentai, but if KingOhger dips, then this is just a delay.
I honestly don't see KingOhger selling as well as Dawn Brothers did. I'm just being completely honest.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to say, just for the sake of time, I'm just going to say ditto and just kind of give the brief explanation of, we don't know yet. Series KingOhger just barely began, and from what I could tell, I mean, if they're going to try the no gimmick... oh, wow, Bandai is also trying to kill me outside of Hasbro. Man, okay. And if Bandai's actually going to try doing the no gimmick thing for KingOhger, because, I mean, let's face it, that sword is just a giant bop it, and it's complicated as hell, then I don't know. I think it's more or less just delay the inevitable, but I don't know. Then again, also Dawn Brothers already raised Sentai to a bar that it's never going to reach again.
I mean, do we know for sure how much of a profit Dawn Brothers really made for Sentai as a whole? Because, like, there's making a profit, and then there's making a profit. And I don't know, as much as Dawn Brothers did sell well, I don't think it made that much of a profit to really be like, wow, we can rest on this.
We know that it turned a positive profit as compared to the last few seasons. We don't have an exact number as of the moment.
So are you saying that? Are you phrasing it as that they broke even, or that they made a profit?
As of right now, hard to say.
Well, like Jay said, they did make a positive profit, but that's what I'm saying. We don't know how much of a profit that really means. That could mean they made 100 million yen. That could mean they made 10 million yen in profit.
That's why I'm saying.
Knows?
That's why I'm asking if they broke even or not. Because if you break even,
well, that's the thing where we just said we don't know.
Okay.
We know it broke even. We don't know anything further than that.
I mean, like, if we want to really get into the nitty gritty of things, like, I know that the Sentai figure arts did well, mainly because updated figure technology is, if anything, improved, and I know that Oni Taijin actually sold pretty well, but outside of that, I have no idea.
So yeah, we don't know for sure. We're gonna, legitimately, like Jay said, we're gonna have to wait to see how KingOhger does. I don't think it's gonna sell as well as Dawn Brothers did, and I think we're gonna be right back in the same situation we were with Dawn Brothers right after KingOhger ends. I'm gonna be really honest. I mean, who knows? Maybe KingOhger bombed so hard it's the first Sentai that's ever gotten canceled. Who knows? Or canceled in the new era, I guess. So next question. Let's go right past that. This one's from Ryan. Oh my God, right back to it, aren't we? Get ready, Jay. You're gonna love this one.
Oh Lord.
Given what has come out of Hasbro's new era of Power Rangers, what do you think the future holds for it? And in a cynical way, how long do you think will it last? 5 minutes.
It's going to last about as long as Hasbro looks like they're going to last, which is about probably another year or two at the bare minimum with the way they've been fucking going.
Look, I'm going to be honest. Everything that I have seen Hasbro do with Power Rangers is the most pants-on-head mental asylum bullshit. And that's knowing that we came out of the Disney era, bro. Like, Disney didn't fuck up this bad. And I know you're
canceled it, and they didn't fuck up as badly as Hasbro
and like
has.
I know people are gonna come out of the woodwork and suck on their thumbs. Oh, but that's so bad. We've had so many great shows because of it. Oh my god, look at the beautiful new original suits that look like fucking Spirit of Halloween bullshit. Like, no, I'm sorry.
Dude, Mystic Knights has better fucking costumes than Cosmic Fury.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
You know
and
what? You're
I say
right,
that
though.
unironically.
No, you're right though. You're objectively true with that.
At least
But that's the thing. Like, no, like I was just gonna say, like the thing is, everything that I have seen Hasbro do with Power Rangers is just like, I look at it and think, really, people are into this? You accept this? Like, not to reuse a meme, but that's like it's that scene from a Despicable Meme. This is garbage. You like this? You like this shit? What the fuck? But I got nothing else to say about it other than it looks like garbage, and like Jay said, they're probably not even gonna last a year with this.
They probably aren't.
You knew that this was gonna fucking crash and burn the moment they said they're not gonna use Sentai footage anymore and just use original footage. How much of a hole is that gonna burn in their pocket, and how fast do you think it's gonna do it? Like, fucking hell. God, dude, it's going to be amazing to see this crash and burn. You know what, Jay? At least it'll be like a train wreck. A beautiful train wreck.
That's the only hope.
Where's the train gonna land?
Right back at Toei's backyard. That's gonna be the most fucked up shit. Hasbro's gonna be right back with Toei, and they're gonna be like, "All right, but we're gonna do it how we want to," and they're gonna bring back Beetleborgs. Oh, that would be so.
No, they're gonna do Zenkaiger as Beetleborgs too.
No, you know what, Jay?
You know what?
Just
supposedly, rumors are actually saying from like Toei that like they might actually do like a revival for Metal Heroes or like B Fighter specifically.
Oh,
who knows?
Long enough.
That might actually. Who knows? That might actually happen.
I would.
No,
love
you know
that.
what? Just to fuck with people, if Toei gets their reins back, just to fuck with everybody, they actually do adapt Dawn Brothers. just to do the epic fucking prank.
I don't think it's gonna work.
It doesn't matter.
That's
They're
why
gonna
they
do
do
it. It's just because they're fucking mad lads.
AJ,
No, at least if they at least do that, I hope they at least have the first Asian American Red Ranger.
No. It'll be he'll be I don't know.
He's gonna be Samoan. Wait,
It'll
they've already
be
had
Roman
Samoans.
Reigns.
they've had
He's probably gonna be a better actor than Roman Reigns, based on the caliber Hasbro's had.
No, they're gonna get Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and he's gonna insist on wearing the Don Momotaro suit.
He would.
No.
He would do it.
Well,
He'd
at
rip
least
that
if it's a
fucking
Rock,
thing.
then I would actually watch that. You know what? Just for the.
I mean,
just for the.
Don
forest fire it's gonna
Momotaro
be.
is the most electrifying man in Super Sentai.
He is because he has
That
a
would-
fucking character.
You know what? Now that you say that, Jay, I kind of see it. I kind of see that fitting.
I mean, his laugh is basically his version of "If you smell."
Dude, honestly,
cooking.
now that you say that, oh my god, I can. Can we
Okay, well,
book
someone
this?
needs to do fan art of this real quickly.
Can we book this? Someone book
Don
this.
the Rock
Artsy, can you
Momotaro.
do
Yo,
this for us?
someone get Russo on the phone. Anyways, next question. Oh my god, you're dying, Jay. Again.
Yes, I am, because it's that funny.
So, this
So
one's
you'll
from
just be
Timmy.
AJ and I.
This one's from Timmy.
Turner.
This one's kind of a remaster of a question we got asked like years ago, but I think it fits more now. So this is from Timmy. With Futopi being a hit with fans, do you think this paves the way for Kamen Rider to one day fully make the jump to anime? I know Rider has had anime side shows before, but with Futopi, it makes me wonder if one day we will go full animated for the main line of shows. Not sure Kura has anything to fucking say about it?
No, I don't think so.
I doubt it. Like, the most I can probably say is, like, we'll probably maybe get, like, a Kuga manga adaptation. Never Spirits, mainly because the author has actually gone out on record of saying, no, I've already been offered anime, I'm not doing it, because it's supposed to be representative of the original Showa writers back in the day who did it, so you're supposed to read it with their voices, and who can capture that magic again? So, in terms of main show, though, yeah, never. We're probably not going to do that.
No, see, the reason Futopi worked was because it was 12 episodes, and it was done with, like, actual passion. If you do main writer shows every single year, eventually it's gonna look like shit. Like, it's gonna look like the most generic moe QQ fucking anime garbage that you can watch on literally
like
any
what Marvel
fucking
is
season.
now.
No, actually, let's put it this way. It's going to basically be male Precure.
Basically, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants.
Well,
there's some weirdos who want that, but nobody wants that.
Yeah, no, to be completely honest, I'm sure Precure is fine as a show. I have no interest in it. But at the same time, like, do we want that for Rider?
No.
Never.
No. Again, and the thing is, I don't want Rider. Like, we make fun of CG, and we make fun of sometimes they flub on the shows. But I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather watch Chase have those weird fireworks stuck to his chest than bad animation for an entire episode. That's my thing. So
yeah,
I think also. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it also takes away the spirit of the genre itself, because Kamen Rider is like Ultraman and Super Sentai. It's basically always been live action. It's always been rooted with grounded realism, and it's always been set in real life. I mean, it's fun when I see it in anime because they get to do more things that they normally can't do and physically can't do, but it's always been live action, and when you take that away, you kind of lose the whole spirit of it, if that makes any sense.
So you take away its Kamen Rider spirits?
Die.
Don't quit your day job, AJ. Don't quit your day job.
I'm not. Anyways,
actually, just to kind of repeat what kind of Phil said. Yeah, no, basically, Futopia felt special mainly because it was a special, I guess, privilege in this case. And if we kept on getting that, yeah, no, it's going to take away the privilege.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
not
much.
Special.
We only got a few more left. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. Let's go with this one. This one's from Matt. Do you have what?
Hardy?
No, his legs wouldn't let him. You know I love you, Matt. Anyways, what is a show or movie you think you were too harsh on in the review? Which one do you think you were too soft on? I was way too soft on Build. Fuck Build. I'm just kidding. No.
I was way too hard on Wecker. Wecker's the best show ever.
You need to get your brain checked out. You keep doing that every time you bring up that show.
I know, right? It's like I think that's trauma talking.
It might be. I'm not an expert because I don't go to mental health therapy, but yeah, you might have some sort of trauma.
You know what? A show that I think I was a little too harsh on because I rewatched. To be fair, I think it's because I just couldn't get into it at the time. Was Cutie Honey the Live, but I think it's also because I wasn't really acquainted with the character at that time. I have a better appreciation for it now. Don't get me wrong. And a show that I was too soft on, as in like I didn't go as harsh as I could with it. Jeez, you're fucking telling me, dude. Pass. Go to Jay first.
To be honest, I can't think of any examples because I tend not to be very hyperbolic other than like obvious jokes when I do reviews. I tend to say exactly what I feel and exactly what I mean. So I can't really think of any examples where my opinion has changed enough where I felt I was too or not harsh enough on something. I'm sure, obviously, there are so many things we've talked about and so many shows we've done that I'm sure there's probably one that slipped through the cracks there, but I cannot for the life of me recall anything that we've talked about that I have felt that I went too far on or not far enough.
You know what? I actually have one. This is a movie. I don't hate this movie, and I'm not going to say that my opinion changed it to the point where it's a negative now. I think I was a little too soft on Godzilla vs. King Kong just because of what it was. I think I was a little too soft on it. I think we could have gone a little bit harsher because there's some of that stuff. Some of the stuff in that movie does kind of suck looking back on it. But again, I think at the time I just liked the idea way too much. But I think that's the only one I was ever too soft on. I think I'm with Jay where it's like, if I don't like something or if I like something, I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to be pussyfooting around it. So, what about you, Chad?
Yeah, no, honestly, very similarly to the both of you. I can't really think of anything where I've been too harsh on it or maybe too soft on it, frankly.
I think you were too soft with Build, honestly.
Was I?
Yeah, I think you were too soft.
You were definitely too soft with Gaim. It sounded like you really loved Gaim when we talked about it, Chad.
Are you sure? Look, to be fair, I think I heard Chad said that Gaim like shot his puppy or something. So I don't know.
Gaim murdered his family in Crime Alley when he was an 8-year-old, and he was forced to be an orphan.
He shot Gaim shot Uncle Ben.
I'm definitely not being held by gunpoint by Mr. Kazuraba Kota of Team Gaim. No siree.
Would he even be able to reach you from where you're sitting?
Well, I mean, that's a good question.
He's got a stool.
You know what? He's at least buff. He's buff.
True enough. I mean, to be fair, wouldn't that be like
he's he's like the Japanese Wolverine. He's a short man, but he's buff as hell.
Yeah, or like, no, have any of you guys seen like the Oceans movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, basically he's the Asian guy there. Short, knows how to flip, and he's just kind of a badass.
Well,
but anyways, to be completely honest though, no, fine. I was too hard on Build. I love Build. Evolt's plan was literally the greatest thing ever. I was too hard on Ninja. I was too hard on Wecker.
Chad, you're pushing
You know what's funny? Every single time I see the shittest taste imaginable, it's always from a Build fan. Curious. Anyways.
Huh. Weird how it works that way.
I know.
Fascinating.
I know. Phil?
Honestly, I'm more in the I kind of am more with like you and with you and Jay when it comes to like if I watch it and I like it, I like it. If I don't watch it, if I give it a second, if I don't like it, I don't like it. If I give it a second watching if I can maybe because sometimes you might see something that that changes your perspective on something. I really don't know if I've ever been too harsh or too lenient on something. I mean, maybe Build, but I still hold to it that Build. There are problems with Build. There are a lot of problems with Build that I agree with you guys on, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it in spite of its faults. I still enjoy it. Like hell, even with like something like Agito, I love Agito, but it's got some faults. It's got some faults in it.
Don't put Agito on the same level as Build, you fuck.
I'm not. I'm just giving an example.
You apologize to Soichi right fucking now. I can't believe
Phil just said Build was better than Agito.
I never said that.
I never said
that.
Fucking
no.
now.
Okay. Shut up. I never said that.
Actually, never said ironic. That. Both shows have a character named Soichi. Anyways.
I never said that. I said.
Anyways.
I said Agito is a good show. It's a good show, but it does have some problems. It does have its issues.
Wow.
Build, on the other hand, has a lot of problems that I agree with you guys. There are problems, but I still enjoy it. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm. Can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
AJ, you would tear me a new one if I said anything bad about Kuga.
Uh-huh.
You never finished it, so you're not allowed to.
I never even started it.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's one from James. What is the worst review of your show you have ever been given. This is mostly an excuse to give it on the stuff that has been said to you guys over the years, but I'm also genuinely curious. Fucking look at the fucking comment section of any fucking podcast I post. That's pretty much your answer, bro. Like, like literally, just look at any of the fucking comment sections.
AJ exclusively posts them in places that hate him particularly.
I don't even know why. They don't even know me.
Because he has a different opinion
right?
than them, and they don't. And because he doesn't agree with their opinion, they hate him for that.
Probably. I don't
Man,
know.
AJ, you're just a hipster, man. Quit
I
being
guess
such a
so.
hipster.
I guess so.
He's a hipster, but for our show, he hated us before it was cool.
Yeah,
Fucking. They're
He
just,
wears
look,
glasses.
I'm gonna be honest. Most of Chad wears glasses. What are you saying about that, Phil?
I'm
huh?
saying you
That
wear
is-
glasses.
what are you saying,
because
huh?
you
What are you
need
saying, huh?
glasses.
You know who else wears glasses?
Hitler.
Yes. Not what I was going to say, but yes.
Anyways,
He
no.
wears
To be
glasses when he
serious,
doesn't
right?
need to.
To be serious, like the shit that we have been told about our show because we made fun of a show that they liked is just immeasurable. Like there are so many comments that we've gotten over the years. Like shit, there was that one time that I remember Jay went off about where it was during our Blade review. They were like, they can never make up their minds of whether they like a show or not because they keep talking about the good and bad about it. I'm like, what the fuck do you expect? That's a review, asshole.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a review.
I've had comments that basically say that I'm the worst thing in the podcast, that I distract and derail everything.
I mean, to be fair. No, I'm just... No, but like,
Well, hey, he's talking about bad reviews. We're not saying good reviews.
No, but like, we like that, like the one we got for that Blade episode just shocked me. I'm like, that's what a review is, jackass. We talk about the good and the bad. What do you just want us to talk about the good? Like, what? What the fuck? I can't give you a single piece of like bad reviews that we've gotten because most of the ones we get usually they either fall into the, oh my god, these guys are so negative, even though like I think the entirety of 2022 most of our reviews were positive, actually. Like most of the stuff that we watched we liked. And
yeah, I can't think of
That's true.
anything like
Yeah,
we
that's
shat
true.
on throughout 2022.
we kind of didn't care for like high school heroes, but even that wasn't bad.
That was at least
No.
fun.
Like,
That at least we had justification to tear into.
oh no, you know
because,
what? Black Sun.
yeah.
Black Sun.
Well,
But that's a big thing though.
Yeah.
But that's the thing,
we
right?
had-
Like, they'll either fall into we're too negative, we don't know what we're talking about, or we take this too seriously. It's like, what the fuck do you want us to do? Do you want us to say, oh, this doesn't make sense? Well, good golly gosh, that's just the darndest thing. Good gollies.
Well, I mean-
If that was how we did reviews, we'd basically be on here for 10 minutes tops.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't... Wow, I'm again dying. Well, I could just make a counter of how many times I'm dying in this episode. But anyways...
Already have.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Phil. Anyways... yeah, no, like, unless... Like, if you want to hear the most basic of opinions without... Well, I guess... How do I put this? I guess if you really want to hear the most basic of takes that don't require, I guess, analysis at any point, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, or go to the YouTube comment section. But anyways, yeah, like, you can literally go there and find the most basic of takes there. And then if you want to follow that, that's fine. That's your opinion. We don't care. But if you guys want to hear a legitimate review of both the good and the bad and why we thought something was stupid, and by all means, feel free to listen. I don't know what you're expecting, because frankly, these are opinions coming from people with various backgrounds in which we are applying, I guess, whatever knowledge that we do have coming from other media or whatever. Basically, again, what are you expecting in that case?
Like, the thing is, right? The thing is, and I've said this before. Yeah, I get it. There are things outside that are more important than this. But in the context of this show, this review show, the reviews and analyzes, this is important. we're going to get passionate about it, and we're going to tell you exactly how it is. Outside, you're not going to see Jay yelling at people about why Evolt's plan doesn't work just on the fucking side of the road for no reason. Because that's not what...
Well, except that one time.
Well, yeah, that's true. But then again, he was also a crackhead and in L.A. But, like, the thing is, in context of this show right now, no, we are taking it seriously. But outside, we know we're not going to change the fucking world with our reviews or anything. So if you're getting that mad about it, that's your own fucking fault, buddy. It ain't our fucking problem. It's not my fault.
Again, it literally just comes down to the idea of subjectivity versus objectivity. I mean, come on, guys. How many times do we need to freaking repeat this?
Look, I'll leave this question at this. On this podcast, I will take it seriously. I will take it as seriously as I need to because I want to at least respect the show on that level. Outside of that, I literally do not give a fuck if you love Ghost or Saber. I don't give a fuck if you think Ninja is the greatest Sentai of all time. I don't fucking care. I literally do not fucking care. Go off if you want. But on this show, when the microphone is on, I'm gonna take it seriously. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry. Fucking blow me. So, with that being said, next question. Right? Question? Yes. Let's see here. So I'm not gonna take this one. I'm gonna leave that one for later, for another time. I'm gonna just do 3 more. So let's see. Okay, this one's from Ace, not that one, but this one's from Ace, the Batman's dog. I know this seems odd.
Joke.
Say what?
Don't steal my joke of saying no, not that one. That's mine.
No, I stole.
Nobody's allowed to make.
I
that
stole
joke.
your gimmick.
Oh wait, the star of the stars actually sent us in a question. Hot damn.
I know, right? Anyways,
Moving up in the world, folks.
so I know this seems obvious, but do you guys collect any of the henshin devices from these shows? If so, what are some of your favorites, and which ones are you hoping to get your hands on sometime in the future? Do you know what show you're writing into, buddy?
The last time I bought a belt was Ghost, and I immediately regretted it.
No, you got the O's one, didn't you?
I didn't get the CSM.
Oh, you
No.
didn't?
I never got it. I didn't have the money for it at the time.
No, really? Dude, I swear to God, this is Mandela affecting myself. I think I'm gaslighting myself. I sincerely thought you bought that. I know Phil did, but I thought you did too.
Absolutely wanted to, but I just could not afford it at the time.
Wait, did you get the Fies one?
I have the Fies one, yes. I have that. I bought that when that came out.
Okay, well that's more recent than Ghost, no?
That was like...
I want to say...
That was during KingOhger when that came out, which was around the same time Ghost was airing.
Yeah.
So I guess technically that was after Ghost, but that was like midway through Ghost, so it hardly counts.
That's why I swear, dude. I thought you bought like, I could have sworn you bought a belt within the last 2 years.
Not unless I'm forgetting, which no, I haven't.
Wow, holy fuck. Well, I can tell you that the last one that I bought was legitimately the 50th anniversary Rider 1 belt. That's the last one I bought. After that, I haven't touched.
You did.
I haven't bought a single belt since then. Before that, I got the Amazon CSM because it was $50 fucking at ThinkGeek, and I was like, "Fuck it, it's alpha, so fuck it, I'll buy it." Which, by the way, why is it spelled ALFA? Thanks, Japan. Whatever. If you want to talk about favorite, I mean, I hate to be the broken record here, but the complete selection Kuga belt that I bought brand new somehow, I mean, that's never going to be topped. I'm sorry. That's fucking, I can get the Rider 1 belt signed by Rider 1 himself, and it's never going to top the Kuga one. It's just not. That's my favorite one. I mean, what about you? Well, I know which one's yours favorite, Chad. It's obviously was.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna let Phil answer this next question though before I go on a tirade.
So the last transformation device I bought, well, okay, so I've got the B Fighter Kabuto one coming in a couple days. But the last one that I don't. Does that count, or do I need to do something? I'd say
more. I'd say that's the more recent one.
Yeah,
I'd say that's fine.
But the one I want to get my hands on is a CS or CSM Fies gear. I know what people are gonna say. Why not something with Blade eventually? But I'm always
no one's saying that. No one's saying that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you guys
what
know
the
that.
fuck are you talking about?
Well, I know you guys know that Blade is my favorite series, but
we do.
When?
Yeah, but I love that Fies stuff. I love that Fies gear.
I mean, if you want the CS, I think I was talking to Chad about the CS. Like, then again, that was a while ago. But from what I remember, the CS Fies gear is actually gone down in price. The CS version. But then again, I feel like the new CSM that's coming out might be a better deal.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Get the new CSM Fies gear because it's already more or less been confirmed. I believe that, according to the promo video that was posted by Bandai, Takumi's actor already initially hinted that we're getting the Fies Edge and the Fies Blaster.
That's why I want to get that. I want to get that.
That's why I'm saying you might want to get the new CSM because that one's going to be compatible with those two.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, like basically, if you find a deal on the original CSM, basically from what I've read on the CSM blogs, those aren't going to be cross-compatible at all. So that's why you can't really just go in with let's say like, oh yeah, just reissue a new Fies phone. But no, they basically, you got to buy everything for Fies kind of going forward.
Yeah.
Mainly because they've apparently redone a lot of the electronics according to the blog. And if they are actually going to do, whether that be like CSG or CSM Fies Blaster or Fies Edge, you might want to invest in that because the only thing that's going to be compatible with it is going to be this new Fies gear. And we're getting that in America, so for those listening, you can actually pre-order this on Amazon.com for the cheap price of $400 and something. I don't really know because I haven't checked, but it's there though.
I will say, most of the CS, the complete selections, which by the way, yes, they are different people. The complete selections that I want are like very few. Like I already have Kugas. I want what the fuck is that his name? Olga?
Orga.
I want Orgas, which I've been able to find in new condition, relatively cheap. So I want that one. And I would probably want to get Denos. Actually, it would be either Denos or Hibikis. Hibiki more than likely because Hibiki is way cheaper. It's just good luck finding one. But that's my thing. Really, again, I already have my Holy Grail. My second one would probably be, it would more than likely be Orga. And after I get that, I really don't have to get any other belts ever again. Actually, Jay, we didn't ask you. What about you? What's your Holy Grail here?
That is an excellent question. Probably the CS Fies gear, the one with the fucking full suitcase and everything.
Dude, you might as well buy it now. Honestly, it's as cheap as it's gonna get right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen it super cheap, but I don't have the money for it, so I can't.
Well, good news. We already have the CSM Fies gear box already coming.
That's the only reason why I haven't even pre-ordered it yet. I still have this the CSM double and axle drivers on pre-order.
You know what? I do need to get those. I do need to,
definitely.
But I just haven't been able to justify it.
But,
I haven't been able to justify it.
But so here's
unjustified, I guess.
So to finish it off before we get to Chad, my favorite transformation device, it's actually a tie between the Shuriken Ball and the Dino Commander.
You like playing with balls, do you?
No, I just like the shape of it. I just like
mending them balls, eh?
I just like that it's shaped like an orb. Though what I hate is the battery. What I hate is the battery compartment. It broke on mine, so I had to get it super glued, and then it fell off a shelf in the box, and I'm never touching it again now. And Dino Commander, it just feels fancy. I was lucky to get it new in box. I've only ever opened it once. It just feels fancy. It feels like regal, if that makes sense. It feels like this thing has like, it's like if you want to go with a changer on your wrist for a fancy dinner, and I don't say you should ever do that, that's the thing to go with it. It's
because
sleek.
he hasn't. It failed awfully. Anyways, Chad, what about yours? What's your favorite one?
That is a very good question. I guess to kind of go into the knowledge that is Toku Photobiz, I have had the lovely pleasure of being able to get most, if not almost, all of the main Heisei Rider CSM belts.
Okay, but gun to your head, what's your favorite?
Yeah, hard to say. It's a toss-up between these three, or actually these four, actually. First and foremost will be the CSM Typhoon from Kamen Rider, the original Kamen Rider 1971.
Yep.
Basically,
That's a very
new
nice
audio
belt.
from Hongo Takeshi and let's see, what was the Nigo's name? But anyways, yeah, that one. Let's see, the CSM Arkle from Kuga. Let's see, from 2001, the CSM Altering from Agito. Because frankly, it's a nice belt. What they've done with it and how they've upgraded it is really nice. I can easily recommend that.
It's no longer a horseshoe.
And the last one you obviously know, because I am a hack, and you all know what I'm about to say.
The Ghost
If
Driver.
y'all can... Yes, I love Ghost. Because I, too, want to be Tenkuji Takeru.
No, you don't.
And when I...
Die on your 18th birthday.
Yes, even though I am like 20-something already, I want to die on my 18th birthday. And then be revived as Kamen Rider Ghost and have to reclaim all 15 of the heroic icons, so that way I can bring myself back to life.
I thought you wanted to be Spectre, but then you'd be having incestuous thoughts about your sister.
Yeah, that's the reason why. No. Anyways, though. Yeah, no, the obviously the last one, it's a no-brainer. It's the CSM Sengoku driver from Gaim. Honestly, what they've done with that, it's a simple belt, but I'm also, again, it's my favorite belt. Mm-hmm. And they've added so many things to the belt and also the lock seeds. And in terms of details overall, it is honestly one of my favorites. I can't say otherwise. I can't. What else do you want me to say? It's a beautiful belt, and I love the detail.
Damn. What a hack.
Honestly, I don't blame them. Like
I do.
Those new lock seats look really good.
They're very nice. They've really updated the paint apps and the paint details. Pretty much the golden lock seat is now painted with a matte gold instead of like chrome gold. And I am now nerding out, but aside from that though, Most Wanted. Yeah, Hibiki. Because I know Bandai is never going to do that because no one cares or asks or even watched Hibiki. Aside from that though,
You didn't watch it, Phil.
No, I was about to say, if we had to get any belt from Hibiki, if I did watch it, I kind of want it to be Ibuki's belt because I like the trumpet.
Oh, Ibuki's belt? You mean the fucking trumpet? You mean the trumpet, Phil? This is what happens when you don't watch the goddamn shows. Anyways,
the
next
fucking
question.
trumpet head is in the belt, you jackass!
Me. I felt I couldn't get past episode 12.
Actually, the head was a separate attachment. He didn't need it for the trumpet. It was just for his finishers.
It's almost like Phil didn't watch the fucking show. Next question.
Anyways, to answer, kind of answer that last part of the question, though. The one I really want, though, outside of Hibiki, though, that I know is actually coming, because we know Hibiki's not coming at all, or for a while. Probably for a while.
Never.
But anyways, if anything, I would really like to get my hands on the CSM Lost Driver, the new one that's coming out. Either that, or the CSM Century King Black Sun Driver. Because, holy hell,
I did really want that one.
that belt is fucking automated.
Outside of the swastika, it's a very nice belt.
Outside of racism, it is automated. And for some reason, we're not getting that, and I don't know why.
I really need to watch Black
there's
Sun.
something really funny about the fact that you can actually say outside of racism, and it actually is true.
It's ironic.
Anyways, these are the last two questions. You ready?
Speaking of
I don't
belts,
care.
Before we get to those two questions, speaking of belts, is anybody going to get the new Shin Kamen Rider DX belts?
No, waiting for the CSM.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's happening at some point. Let's be real.
So,
It's gonna.
two questions. We got one from Norman Osborne and one from Betty Boop. Which one?
We'll save Osborne for last.
Let's do the Betty Boop.
All right. So this one's from Betty. Where do you see the Tokusatsu? Where do you see Tokusatsu in the States being in 5 years? In the fucking ground.
Probably the same place it already is if certain individuals don't ruin it for us.
She
Malaysia.
probably will.
Cast Ranger.
Wait. Phil, did you just say Malaysia in regards to the United States?
No. Let him cook. The Malaysians
No,
are gonna ruin
he's
it for
not
us
cooking
somehow.
shit. He's cooking that kind of
Let
fucking.
him cook.
Phil is cooking the crack that motherfucker did in goddamn Boondocks. Okay.
I'm half
Let him
asleep
cook.
right now, okay?
I'm having a sheep right now. Okay? I don't give a fuck. You literally mixed up two completely different countries.
I thought Malaysia was a part of the United States. Say on my
Don't you
map.
try it. Don't you try and turn it into a joke, motherfucker. You just dumb as hell. Anyways, as you were saying, Jay.
Rip
Yeah,
headphone users.
I mean, the hope is that it gets better, but I'm gonna be honest. At the rate things have been growing, which is pretty slowly, that's kind of the rate it needs to grow at. It doesn't need to grow any bigger than that. So I think it's probably going to stay, relatively speaking, where it is if certain unmentionables don't keep trying to fucking ruin it for us by opening their big stupid mouths every week and complaining about every little thing despite not knowing anything about what's actually going on. Which doesn't say that I know anything that's going on, but at least I have common sense not to fucking open my mouth. So.
Not to open your mouth to the fucking producer.
Exactly.
What about you, Chad?
5 years, I think it's going to be a little less niche, but still going to be niche. They're kind of like what Jay says, just as long as people aren't going to be dumb and like kind of painting a target on all of Tokusatsu's back and saying, hey, by the way, here's where you watch these things as we aboard the ship and go upon the seven seas and do things that, I don't know, that people do. But, yeah, no, like, if anything, the rate it's going at is, I think it's perfectly fine where it is. If anything, I think once we eventually get Shin Rider, if we apparently are still getting that, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think that may be a little bit of a benefactor in helping it grow, but that also kind of depends on Toei as well, because we know that Toei are stingy as fuck. So.
Yeah. In my eyes, honestly, I am of two minds. On one hand, if like Jay said, the rate that we're growing is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine for what we're doing. We don't need this to grow as fast as it can. Because I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not even lying. Even after Futopia, I've started seeing TikTok edits of Kamen Rider, and it's really cringe as fuck, and I hate it. But unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. But the thing is, I think the rate we're going is fine, because if we go any faster, we start getting into really touchy territory, and I don't want to see homestuck Kamen Riders, if you know what I mean. I don't think I need that in my life. Nobody needs that in their life. And I think we're fine. I think we're fine, as Jay said and as Chad said, as long as certain people don't open their big, stupid, fucking dumb shit, stupid mouths to the fucking producers, we'll be okay. That's what I think. Where we're going to be specifically in 5 years? Dead. Probably. Whereas Tokusatsu going to be specifically in 5 years in the States? Honestly, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think within 5 years, we're going to have two things happen. One, Futo PI Season 2, which I think is kind of a given. I think everyone kind of expects that. And two, this is a really, I don't know what the Kamen Rider is going to be in 5 years. It's going to be like Kamen Rider Liangle. I don't fucking know. But I have a prediction that somehow, some way, somewhere, we're going to have simultaneous live streams of Kamen Rider. If not like same time, because that would be impossible for the poor subtitle people. Actually, no, I don't think that would be impossible. I think that's...
Well, I mean, considering anime does, like, simulcasting.
Yes, that's what I was
thinking. At least,
thinking.
like, an hour after it airs in Japan.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I think within the next 5 years, we're going to have simulcasting. 100%. I think somebody at Toei is going to finally pull their head out their ass and really think, hey, you know what? We can make a lot of money with this. I think we're going to get simulcasting. Whatever the writer show that year is going to be, who fucking knows? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows, but whatever it is.
Kamen Rider Blimblow, and he uses
Glupshido.
pinwheels. Yeah.
It's going to be Kamen Rider Saber, the sequel.
Kamen Rider Saber, the last, the next, the first. Like I said, whatever it may be, I do believe I am making that strong prediction we're going to have simulcast within the next 5 years. If it happens before that, I'm Nostradamus. If it happens after that, fuck you. You owe me $5. So, last question for tonight, guys. From Norman Osborn.
You bastard.
Why did you fuck Gwen Stacy? Anyways,
Why did you fuck Mysterio for one? Why did you do half the things you've done, Norman?
Because it's Norman
Why
Osborn.
did they
Wait, is Norman Osborn asking us these questions?
probably. Actually, Norman, what was up with the Gold Goblin? Just wondering. Anyways,
that was he's not evil anymore, quote
Again?
unquote. I fucking read those comics and I still don't understand.
he's
how
not
that
evil.
works.
Wasn't he not evil? Sort of, maybe, probably not really. When he did the Iron Patriot.
Yes.
No, he was just bullshitting everybody because he was just that good at.
Oh, so
bullshitting
this
everybody.
is the same thing with Gold Goblin.
Norman.
No. So okay. Let me go on this fucking tangent because it's both retarded and better than what Spider-Man actually is right now. Okay. So in the last run, Nick Spencer, because he was obsessed with digging up all of the bullshit from J.M. DeMatteis's run back in the 80s, which, not that I blame him, brought the fucking Sin Eater back. And now the Sin Eater had magic powers, and by magic powers I mean he had a magic gun. And if he shot somebody with it, he stole their sins, literally, and they were completely, like, cured of all, like, bad thoughts and everything. So he shot Norman with it and stole all of Norman's bullshit evilness. So now, since then, Norman's been running around as a good guy, and everybody's just kind of accepted it. But because Norman is Norman, and he's unable to just, like, fucking go away, built new goblin gear, but it's not goblin gear, so he's basically the Green Goblin again, but he's not the Green Goblin.
I got one. Why is it sometimes goblins on the hoverboard? He's on the glider.
That's your fucking question?
No. Here it is.
We're talking about the fucking Gold Goblin, and you're talking about Luigi on the hoverboard. The fuck?
No, what I'm trying to say is, what, Norman? Why are you sometimes on the glider and sometimes you look like Hulk?
That's the Ultimate Norman, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, Ultimate Norman was the fucking Hulk one, which was stupid.
Anyways, speaking of
Look,
Ultimate...
guys, he's something of a scientist himself. Let's move on. Let's answer the question.
Look, the Ultimate Universe got super stupid really fucking fast, okay? So,
the Ultimate Universe got double killed. The Ultimate Universe is deader than dead.
And you know what?
That's all we need to
good.
say.
It's a good thing. So, here's from Norman.
Is there a question?
Yes. So, here's from Norman. Strap in, boys, because we're going to have to give our real thoughts about something for once.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
What exactly are your honest thoughts on the Tokusatsu fanbase? No bullshitting, just honesty. Chad?
Well, going to me first, eh?
You knew I was.
Huh. Yeah, then again, you did kind of clue me in on that question earlier today,
I did. I told you, put the cup on, bro. It's gonna get hard.
Yeah. I mean, for what it is honestly, I'd say it's a very mixed bag. Because just being able to kind of experience and meet so many people that are actually very passionate about this genre of entertainment, like, for crying out loud, Jay and AJ can also speak to this as well. We met some really, really cool people at Anime Expo that were super hyped, super pumped for, well, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, and just the fact that it's all coming to the States. And I see nothing wrong with that passion. However, in terms of the actual fandom and I guess some of the people leading it in that regard, it does make me kind of wonder in some cases. Because from what I could tell, I can definitely see that some of these, I guess, people leading in, I guess, whether that be Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or whatever really, like, those who know what they're doing, and they won't make a big stint about it. Like, if anything, like, they're not gonna be, like, lording over people saying, like, hey, I know this, and, like, basically push up their glasses super nerdily and shit like that. Or, I mean, you can see it on Facebook, but that's neither here nor there. But I think, especially, like, since the platform for communication has really switched to, especially Twitter nowadays, I think the ones leading the charge on Twitter, I think this is just going to be my criticism, need to do their actual research. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fine to say, like, oh yeah, so-and-so writer's my favorite, but, like, okay, that's fine, that's cool, you like him. But I think if you're going to be trying to persuade someone on, like, a genre, or, like, talking about the genre itself, I think that, one, you need to do your research, know what you're talking about, instead of coming up with all sorts of bullshit theories, or just coming up with opinions, or saying things like, oh, well, this sucks, and, I don't know, not have any, I guess, backing knowledge to say why, per se. And I think the main thing of this is that it's, again, like I said, it's a mixed bag. It is neither good nor bad. It is literally what it is. Personally, if I were to be honest, I try and stay as far away as possible, just watch from a distance. I'm personally not a fan of myself of those leading it for various reasons that I will just not go into. But I think it is in an equally good, but also very, very dangerous / cautious place. Because you have people even saying, like, by the way, here's where you watch these shows, when we know that Japan is watching, Japan knows that we do these things, and if they know that we do these things, that'll force their hand, and we don't want that. Again, for the people in the back, do not tell these things to Japan, do not even post videos about it. You can maybe DM someone if someone really asks, but also at the same time, do not make it public because Japan already knows. And if they fucking know, they're gonna take action. But anyways, rant aside, I like the fact that there are more fans coming around to Tokusatsu, but at the same time, I am very cautiously, just kind of not a fan of who's leading it. But, I don't know, long story short, that's my answer.
Phil?
Well, I've also met a lot of fans of Toku who are really, really passionate about it. Some that are, one or two of them that are very nitpicky about certain things. But I've been to cons myself where I've met people who, you know, they don't go super into, like, they don't say like that. This is like, oh, this is like the greatest thing ever, and you gotta like it and stuff. Blah 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 blah. They're actually not like that. we actually just are like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, if you're wearing a Toku costume and they also are, they'll acknowledge you and just be like, nice costume. Like, I had somebody come up to me once. I was dressed as Sugurioto. I was dressed up as Sugurioto Hiri from Q Ranger, and he had the Jiku driver with him, and I messed around, and he let me mess around with it for a little bit, and it was nice because
Gross.
You know what? I had two other friends with me, and they didn't know what that stuff was. They wanted to see what it was. So I wanted to actually feel what it was like, because I only have the Mirai watches. So, but I'll say this, I'm getting really annoyed with the fans who really just want to be argumentative and don't want to listen to reason other than just like, you have to like my show because it's my show and I'm the definitive reason. It's like, no, because everybody has a differing opinion when it comes to that stuff. You're gonna have people who will agree with you, yes, but you're gonna also have people that disagree with you. Now, either you can work with the people that disagree with you and be like, hey, you know what? You're right. You're right. I mean, you have your points, I have my points, but I'm not going to let that affect my opinion of you. But then you've got fans like one in particular who will not be mentioned, who basically cry foul that your opinion differs from them, and they basically start bad-mouthing you. And I'm like, that's not cool. That's not cool. Like, even Chad said it. Japan is watching us, and if we want to get more stuff, if we want more support, show them that you like this stuff and can work with everybody. Because honestly, most of the fans don't come here for what you want to see with Rider, Sentai, or anything like that. They come for a good story. They come for entertainment. Not what you want, because that's what and you know who you are. You know what I'm talking about. It needs to stop.
Jay.
Excuse me. I would, for the most part, agree with Chad's sentiments, where it depends on where you go and depends on the certain forums that you find discussion in. But there are, on an individual level, a lot of people who are very interesting to talk to, have very insightful opinions, and have a great appreciation for this franchise. And many majority of my friendships outside of the show and just generally have been met through those environments. So it is something where it is very easy to form a long-lasting bond through it. But depending on where you go and depending on the general climate of that forum, you start to get a lot of really fucking asinine or just obnoxious and just kind of stupid people who have, I don't even want to say like on an opinionated level, like bad opinion or anything, or just make the most completely low IQ takes about every single thing. And even that, like, that's an individual level. You can ignore that for the most part. You know, you get lumped in with that just kind of by association, and that's one thing. You got to deal with that in every fan base. But much like what Chad said, the individuals who have unfortunately been marked as the leaders, quote unquote, of the fan base in the West are people who just kind of don't really get it. They don't understand the weight their words hold. They don't understand their actions. And not even just generally them, like a lot of people who don't seem to realize that they have a spotlight on them do a lot of really just kind of fucking brainless things, or are bullshit grifters who only do the things they do because they want to be the ones calling the shots. They want to be at the top of the hierarchy no matter what, and they will do and say whatever the fuck they want and raise as much of a havoc as much as they want without considering the consequences of their actions and who's going to see it. They want to be the person who is known for this without realizing that the way they're trying to do it is going to fucking ruin everything for everybody. And it's unfortunately avoidable until you can just finally get a majority to turn on them. But that's not really going to happen. That's getting to fandom politicking, and I really want to go into that. But that's the problem, is that like on a lower level and on an individual level, I like where it is. It's starting to get popular enough and mainstream enough where it's easy to get other people into it. But once you start getting into bigger conglomerations of these kinds of fans, that's when the general quality of discussion and the individuals involved plummet. And it's disappointing, I guess. You would hope that a lot of these things that come up, like Chad, for example, mentioned, not mentioning where to illegally download content, would be something that is very common knowledge, would be very much a no shit, don't do this kind of thing. Like, we all remember we all remember the Trinity incident. I remember that spontaneously earlier today of, don't fucking tell the producers on Twitter where you're getting your fucking catalog leaks from and then showing them that. Like, that kind of just like a no shit Sherlock, don't do this kind of thing. Like, a lot of people, especially ones who have particularly big spotlights, don't seem to know this or don't seem to have learned this lesson and keep doing it. And that makes it difficult and it makes it frustrating for everybody. Mm-hmm. So it's a weird predicament where the bigger the collection of the fan base, the worse it gets.
To be fair, like I said, we're all kind of in agreement in the same idea. For me, my biggest issue with this entire fan base is kind of something like what Jay mentioned, is that there's a lot of people in this fan base who don't realize just how much weight their words can hold and just how much that can be detrimental to not only newer fans, but even older fans who are very easy to sway. And the thing about that is that all you need is one of these people to say something that completely destroys any chance that this fan base has to show Toei that we know what we can fucking do and that we are respectful enough to have these shows. And again, you can point to any of the incidents. You know, Trinity, again, we've mentioned it like 17 times at this point, the whole torrenting situation, you know, any situation you can point to. I mean, shit, there was legitimately that one time where people were just yelling at Shirakura for something that he couldn't fucking do anything about. He literally couldn't do anything about this because you told on him. So it's like, well, now I can't do anything. But because of that, it shows Toei that, hey, maybe this fucking country's way too much trouble than they're worth. It's way more trouble than they're worth. Because, yeah, they can make money off of us. Yeah, they can bring these shows to us. Yes, they can do this and they can do that. But what does it say when they have to consistently look at, hey, if we bring this here, are they going to know what to do with it? Are they going to, I hate to say it this way, but do they know how to fucking behave? Because, again, look at, again, not naming names, but look at some of the people who are leading the charge of this fan base. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't trust these motherfuckers with a lead pipe. I wouldn't trust these motherfuckers with a fucking penny. Because some of these,
I wouldn't trust them to make me a fucking
like some of these guys, honest to God, I'm like, I am floored with how you are even on the fucking same pedestal as some of the people that I know who lead this fan base. And because of that, it makes me think this fan base is kind of doomed because people listen to these people. Too many people listen to the people at the top of this fan base for me to truly say that this fan base is in good hands. Now, like Jay said, on a personal level, yeah, sure. You know, I have met many people, you know, You three, obviously. People we met at Anime Expo. People that I met on my own time. I've met a lot of people who are into tokusatsu, who are legitimately personable, rational, cool, fun people to be around. But unfortunately, that is becoming more and more of a minority than a majority. And I hate to say it like that because that does sound hyperbolic, and in a way maybe it might be. But it does seem like it's becoming more of a majority or more of a minority to find people who are level-headed and can just talk about these shows. And it's becoming more often that I find people. I mean, let's take. I'm sorry to go back to this because we mentioned this way earlier. Let's go back to the KingOhger stuff. The moment that we mentioned that, like the moment I mentioned and the moment that Jay mentioned he didn't like KingOhger, motherfuckers came out of the woodwork to try and fucking shoot us, basically. Like, they fucking hated the fact that we had a different opinion from them. And it was kind of insane because I'm like, these are the people who are making up a majority of our fan base nowadays? Like, that I don't like, and that I'm kind of weary of. Where this goes on from here, I don't know. Where this fan base goes from here, I don't know. But as much as I'm an optimist, I also have to be realistic, and I think that this fan base, if it doesn't change for the better, it's going to get worse. And again, we're not going to name names, but you know who you are. You know what you've said. You know what you've done. You have a responsibility to the people of this fan base to do better. And I know nobody likes saying it that way. I know that's the worst way to say it, but you have to. You have to do better, because if not, you're going to just show Toei what they already know. And that this country, or that at least the Western fan base, is not fucking worth it. So I hope it gets better. I'm not going to be the doomsayer. I don't want to take the black pill, per se. But at the same time, it's really hard not to. It's really hard not to take the black pill sometimes with some of these people. And who knows? Again, who knows? Maybe, for all I know, it's going to change in the next couple of years. Maybe we'll be the leaders of the No, please don't do that. We don't want that. No, but we don't.
I don't want to be in charge.
I don't want to be in charge of this fucking fan base. Fuck all of you. I hate you all.
You know what, guys? to bring back a point of KingOhger, we are just the evil kings, guys. We're going to make sure that this fandom we're going to fix this fandom. We're going to be the necessary evil.
If you hated Don Brothers, we're going to turn this entire fan base into Don Brothers. You don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want us in charge of your fan base. Actually, no, to be fair, we probably would run it better. Into the ground, but we would run it better.
We would run it quicker into the ground, but more spectacularly.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's all about presentation, Jay.
We
all
honestly
about
go down
presentation.
We'd go down like we're riding a nuke down into battle.
So like I said, I both love and hate this fan base. I love the people that I get to meet on a personal level. I fucking despise the people who are running it. And if the people who are running it hear this, fucking blow me. Fucking blow me.
Sit and spin.
Are they even worth blowing?
Cry
you,
about
AJ?
it.
No, you're right. I don't need that. But with that being said, everybody, that is another mailbag done. Holy shit, we got through so many questions this time around, and there's still about 50 still on this goddamn list. Fuck. There's a lot of questions. Please keep sending them in, though. It's great.
I love these mailbags.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's just you, Chad.
So
yeah, I'm a giant asshole.
So here's a question. Seeing as Tir Na Nog is fucking awful, stupid, terrible, and boring, y'all want to pull a mulligan?
I don't.
I am almost done with the show. I don't fucking know. If none of you guys can stand for it, fuck. Maybe we'll make it a half-hour episode where you guys just fucking ask me shit.
Hey, Jay, I can't even get through half of the first episode.
Yeah, but that's you, Phil. You don't get through half of the shit.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, okay, no.
Am I wrong?
Am
I wrong, Phil?
Put it this way. For those watching, I gave up about an episode and a half, and it just felt like a horrible D&D session that no one knows what the hell they're doing. So.
Yeah, but D&D sessions are at least fun, depending on the campaign.
Yeah, and guess what this isn't, anyways.
So, okay. That's what I'm saying. Do you all want to just pull a mulligan?
if I weren't so close to being finished with the show, I would be fine with it. But if nobody else can actually fucking watch the show beyond an episode, I don't know how we'll do an episode. So, I don't know.
Okay, so I ask you, Chad, Phil, I have it up. Do you want me to spin it?
Yes.
No.
Well, I'm listening to Chad. He's cool. So.
Fuck you. No. I don't want the wheel.
We'll see. Chad's smarter. I have no way to prove that, but he's smarter.
Wait. Hold on. I want you to say that again. What the fuck did you just say?
Chad's smarter.
I'm smarter?
Chad's smarter than you.
Yeah. I have no problem saying this. You make it sound like I'm gonna stutter over the next time I say that. No, I'm gonna fucking.
I'm sorry, Phil. I'm actually a giant dumbass. Anyways, excuse me. Continue.
I'm sorry I didn't pass the 3rd grades.
Well, I know you didn't pass the 3rd grade because you think Malaysia's in the United States, you fucking dumbass. Anyways.
Wait, Mama told me that Mama always said that when the clouds get sad, they cry.
What's wrong with you?
Anyways, aside from Forrest Gump quoting here.
That's not Forrest Gump, that's Waterboy.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know, but anyways.
Why would you quote fucking water?
I know, right?
Because I am a glutton for punishment.
Because he's got water in his brain. He's got water for
We
brain.
all have water in our brains, jackass!
Do you? I don't.
I don't. My brain is the most dry brain on the planet.
That's from all the alcohol.
Your brain full of wrinkles and ugly. My brain's smooth and cute. Ooh.
Exactly.
And a who?
This, but unironic.
Don't worry, I'm spinning it, Chad. I'm spinning it.
Yes.
It's spinning. It's like a spinning wheel, you know?
Of course. Great thing we're not going back to drive though.
No, we're not. Well, we did drive already.
Unfortunately. Well, yeah, no, that's why.
Hey Jay, how long was
No.
Oh, God.
how long was Tir Na Nog, by the way? How long is that?
50 episodes.
This does not.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
I think I know what it is.
I'm gonna kill you both, then Phil, then me, then Phil
I
again.
didn't want to do it. You think he listens to me? You think he listens to
Cosmos,
me,
finally?
Jay? You think he ever listens to me?
Why
No,
would I?
nobody listens to you, Phil.
He never fucking listens to me.
See, Chad, I'm gonna break kayfabe because that would be a great idea. However, oh shit, I lost it. Where is it?
You dolt.
I had
think
it
I know
here.
what
What the
we
fuck?
got.
Wait, where is it? Hold on. I literally had it right here. Oh my god, where did it go?
I think I already know what we're doing, and because of the way he's reacting.
Well, wait, where the fuck did it go?
You fucking dumbass.
Wait, I literally had it. Fucking screenshot it, and I say, what the fuck? Where did it go? No, where did... You son of a bitch, where did this...
It wasn't meant to be.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to spin it again. Woohoo!
No!
Well, what was it?
Oh, it was Wild Force.
Ugh.
Huh.
Oh, that wasn't what I thought it was.
Could have been worse. Could have been
Yeah.
Ghost.
I thought. No, that's not what I was thinking it
Well,
was.
Ghost is on to our 200th episode, so it's fine. That's just like negotiable. Actually, we're on episode 185. You know this, right? We're getting really close to 200. We're gonna have to do Ghost one day.
I don't want to go.
Well, then don't. You couldn't get past Hibiki. You don't deserve to rip into Ghost.
I liked Hibiki.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't even finish it. You stupid fuck.
You liked it, but
Because it was
it's
boring.
This is your brain on the MCU. Whatever.
Maybe
I'm just.
see
I
that.
have landed, and we are doing. If you noticed a really weird cut somewhere around there, no, you didn't. We're doing K-Tie Detective next time. This better be fucking good, Jay.
All I know is that a certain prolific filmmaker directed several
What?
episodes, and I won't say who.
Takashi
Tarantino?
Miike.
Correct. Takashi Miike
Wait,
directed
actually?
several episodes. Yes.
What?
I'm not even joking. There are multiple episodes of this show directed by Takashi Miike, which is half the reason why I've wanted to watch the show, and also I've heard it's completely fucking bonkers.
Wait, how long is each fucking episode? Holy shit.
I think it's 45 episodes.
45 episodes
Total.
and 45 minutes per episode. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Well, I guess we're gonna take our time on this anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, so.
If I can I get out of this? Why can't I get out of this?
No, you're stuck here forever.
Okay. Who subbed this so I can just get a good. I think it was only TV Nihon, honestly.
I remember watching. Yeah, I know TV Nihon did it way back in the day, but I don't know if anybody's redone it. I'd have to look.
Well, I found
But
it
I know
on
it's
of
been
all things
subbed.
fucking Facebook. Yeah, I found it on Facebook. Is this the entire thing? 16, 17, 27, 34, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Wow, I think this actually is completely subbed on Facebook. What the fuck?
Weird.
Yes, it is. It is completely subbed on Facebook. So, Jay, I know you don't want to give Zuck your soul, but it's here if you want it.
Yeah, it works if I can't find it anywhere else.
So, next time we come back to you guys, we're going to be doing K-Tai Detective. Phil's not. He's barred from that. But Chad, Jay, and I are going to. And we're going to have fun.
Barred from it.
And we're going to have a lot of fun. So,
I'm sure we won't be phoning it in.
Like I said, Jay, this show better be really fucking good because you've been wanting to do this for years.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard about the show is that there is no way it can't be bad. I refuse to let.
Is
this
Hagano
show
in
be
this
bad.
show?
I don't believe
That'd be
so,
amazing.
but I know now Nagasawa's in it.
Oh, Hurricane Blue. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just watch every Toku actor we can think of is in here. Oh my god, it's Toshiki Inoue.
The only other name I'm recognizing on this list is that who I think that is?
Yes. It's Zio.
No.
He wasn't even alive.
We'll check.
No, he was.
No, he would have been like 6. No, that's not who I thought it was. Never
Well,
mind.
anyways, next time we come back to you, we will do K-Tai Detective. It's probably going to take a while. I won't lie, because if each episode really is 40 minutes per episode. No, actually, no. The first episode is 45 minutes, and the rest of them seem to be normal length. No, the first and last episode are 46 minutes, and the other ones are just normal length. So
We just need a buffer.
So
Oh,
well,
actually, know who I did find in the cast?
me?
Oh, no, that's actually, first off, it's me. Second, it's actually Hase Takano. He played Ultraman Aguru and also Kamen Rider Raya.
Oh yeah, that was the. I saw his name. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not the name I was looking at. I saw a different name. It was Noriko Watanabe, who I thought I recognized from something, but I completely passed over him.
Well, so yeah, I don't really know how to end this episode. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.